Good evening and welcome to We Lied to You News. Shockingly, today we'll be running cover for a satanic Democrat politician. Can't wait, so let's get into it. Recently, Democrat Senator Dick Durbin has been making headlines in a very liberal way. Dick blocked a subpoena that would reveal who's on world-renowned minor-attracted person Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs. And he also suggested that we put foreign nationals who are illegally crossing our border, coming from countries that hate America, into our military. That would help our military provide just as much national security as the level of security that our border currently provides. The border that these future soldiers easily and illegally crossed. Accordingly, we have a lot of covering to do, so let's start with Epstein's flight logs. Aside from frequent flyer Bill Clinton, who's on those flight logs? Well, a popular right-wing extremist idea is that it's wrong to commit felonies against minors. Those corrupt MAGA people. And unsealing Epstein's flight logs would help shed some light on information that we've been doing our best to keep in the dark. Who were the high-profile people involved with Epstein that were committing felonies against minors? Let's find out what happened. Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn filed a subpoena with Congress to grant access to Epstein's flight logs to lawmakers, probably because she's a racist. But luckily, acting in the best interest of the American people, and also a little bit in the interest of the elites who control him, Dick Durbin blocked the subpoena request. You heard that right. He went out of his way to block an action that would reveal the names of people involved in the sex trafficking of minors. You know, with revealing things like that, it's all downside, no upside. But some people erroneously think this action makes Dick Durbin look like a dick who's trying to protect the guilty, even making it look like he himself is guilty. Included in that is Marsha Blackburn's tweet. Senator Dick Durbin blocked my request to access Epstein's flight logs. What are the Democrats trying to hide? Well, Marsha, he's certainly not trying to hide this. And nor are the Democrats trying to hide anything. They're just trying to protect the American people from truth, which along with words, is also the same thing as violence. We need a lot of protection from that. Yet the sector of the public that still has morals and a conscience have been outraged at Dick Durbin. But luckily, a Fox News reporter caught up with Dick so he could clear the air with a perfectly good explanation. Take a look.
Durbin, can I ask you a quick question? Why won't you subpoena Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs?
So who are you?
Hillary Vaughn with Fox.
With Fox, of course. I don't know anything about his flight logs.
Why won't you subpoena them? Why don't you want to know?
I don't know the issue. I know who Epstein was, but I certainly don't know anything about the issue.
Well, he was charged with sex trafficking, so why don't you want to know who was utilizing his private plane?
Never been raised by anyone.
Well, Senator Blackburn has wanted to subpoena them, and there hasn't been a vote in your committee.
Said a word to me, not a word.
But aren't you curious, like, what high-profile or powerful people might be closeted predators and pedophiles? Doesn't that concern you?
Of course.
So why won't you subpoena them if you can?
It's the first time anyone has raised it. Thank you, Fox.
So are you curious about it? Will you do it?
Well, there you go. He was so certain of his innocence and good intentions that he felt secure enough to be comfortable looking guilty. But the plot thickens like a Pfizer blood clot because Dick wasn't done making headlines for the week. How so? Well, in the midst of a rather inclusive amount of military-aged men flooding across our border from countries that hate America, including tens of thousands of men now coming from communist China, Dick proposed an idea that somehow nobody else had thought of before. Put those men, who are the enemies of America, into America's military. Now on this one, it's all upside, no downside, as far as we can tell. Take a look at this Dick proposing the idea to the Senate.
Says that if you're an undocumented person in this country and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like, you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States. Do we need that? Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the Air Force? They can't reach their quotas each month. They can't find enough people to join our military forces. And there are those who are undocumented who want the chance to serve and risk their lives for this country. Should we give them the chance? I think we should.
I certainly think we should as well, Dick. Consider why this is such a good idea. America has foreign enemies around the world, and those enemies want to kill Americans, eliminate freedom, and destroy America. One way that those enemies are scheming to destroy America is to get their own soldiers planted in the US military, where they could essentially disable America's immune system so it can be taken over and destroyed. So there's no question that America has to protect itself from these hostile foreign nationals that want to infiltrate our military. Yet that takes a lot of manpower to be on the lookout for. Yet problem solved, because with Dick's idea, we could create soldiers out of the men that come from the countries that are America's enemies and use them to be on the lookout for the foreign nationals who are trying to infiltrate our national defense. They'd probably be good at it too, because these soldiers would be coming from the same countries, so they would probably know what to look for. Can't wait to see how this idea works out. All great empires throughout history have fallen, but luckily for us, Dick Durbin is helping make sure that the American empire doesn't fall. And while we implement Dick's expert military strategies, maybe we could also add some additional strategies, like instead of bombing foreign targets, we just drop bombs on the US because it's closer and therefore there'd be lower fuel costs and less carbon emissions. Perhaps we could also arm our enemies so that we'd know what kind of weapons they're using against us, which would give us a strategic military advantage. And while we're letting the good ideas flow, Dick, we could also bolster our low military recruiting numbers by using drag queens in recruitment advertisements to make even more people want to join the military. Oh, we're already doing that? The Navy is? Somehow it's not surprising that the Navy is doing that. That's it for today's news. We continue being successful at keeping Epstein's flight logs in the dark. We do have his little black book though, but we're not going to tell you who's in it. Why is Dick Durbin's name in here? Politicians keep working hard to protect the guilty from the innocent, and our national defense is gearing up to be as strong as Biden's ability to walk. And that's pretty strong. Good night. Feeling overwhelmed this holiday season? I get it. The demands of November and December, holiday preparations, gift shopping, end-of-year tasks, family get-togethers with blue-haired relatives can all be a relentless source of stress. Well, breathe easy, my friend, because Stress Guardian is here to help. It's the latest breakthrough from Bioptimizers, the geniuses behind Magnesium Breakthrough. This beauty is packed with 14 adaptogenic herbs that help you regulate your stress naturally, which grants you control over your holiday stress. With daily use, Stress Guardian becomes your personal shield against holiday tension, helping you enhance both your physical and mental well-being. There's no debate about it. Stress can be the biggest dagger in the heart of your health, well-being, and the quality of your life. But you can take back control, and instead of just trying to survive life in the holiday season, Stress Guardian helps you thrive. To take back control and to get a head start on holiday stress this season, just visit stressguardian.com/JP, and while you're there, use the promo code AWAKEN for 10% off your first order. And get this, Bioptimizers offers you a risk-free 365-day money-back guarantee. Nobody else does that, but Bioptimizers is so confident in their products that they're the ones that do. Discover the secret to peace on earth this holiday season with Stress Guardian.